You guys back again, doing some more XX upgrades. We got the factory UTV skid plates. I've already unboxed them. They come packaged up real nice, which the main belly pan hasn't came yet. But we got the rear, the front, and then we got the Nerf sliders and the A-arm guards. So we'll see if we can get some of these put on. Everything's packaged real nice. Stuff looks real good. I like how recessed the mount holes are, so you ain't gonna worry about ripping them off. I normally go with trail armor, put that on 3 other machines, but this time we decided to go with the factory UTV for the XX. So it looks like there's some pretty good reviews on it. I've already got the back skid down where I serviced it. So that just comes down with the T30 bolts, 6 of them right there, and then you can see how flimsy this is. The fact, so we got the package opening with all the bolts. I will say comes with pretty nice instructions, and got a diagram of all the bolts. And then the way the bolts come, really like they're all separated in their own baggies with marked for each location, which is great. The trail armor ones you kind of had to sort through and figure them out. And then this tells you exactly which bolts go where, so see if we can get some of it put on there. Okay guys, back we got the rear skid plate started. So the back 2 bolts are the regular metric threaded bolts, and then you got 4 cell tappers that go in the standard locations underneath. So the very rear 2, and then the front 2, and I don't have the middle skid ain't here yet, so I went ahead and put this one on first. But then these 2 here, you got to get a drill bit 1364 and a 1/4 20 to tap them, but we went ahead and got this started, and then we'll drill and tap those. So to get this on, I started the back 2 bolts, and then I actually put a little jack just to help press it up while I started the other 4. Kind of lined everything up. A little bit of a chore, not too bad. So we'll move on and see if we can get the A-arm skids on, since main belly ain't here yet. But not too bad. Seems to be some pros I like over the trail armor, and some cons will go over those at the end. Okay guys, so the A-arm skids attached with these, which is a, let's see, 5 30-seconds Allen. You guys can see that or not. And then a 7/16 nut and washer. So I've got the one side on there tightened down. So I got to put on the driver's side. You can see here's the passenger side. So these just turn my light on. These just slip over the arm, and then your washer and your nut. The bolt comes through the bottom, so the Allen's flush. And there's 5. There's 3 on the front here, and then 2 on the back. So what you want to do is loosely get all 5 of them started, and then tighten them down. So to get the first couple in, was held it up there, doing this by myself, and then I actually held it up there with my jack. Got the first couple in, and then let that jack down so I could position the other ones and get it all lined up, tightened down. If you're like me, doing most of the stuff by yourself, sometimes it's just easier to use a jack to hold stuff. Yeah, shop project by yourself can be a pain, but we'll get this side started and tightened down. Sorry, I'm trying to video this by myself. I don't really have the equipment to do a time-lapse video while I put it on. Maybe I'm thinking about getting some of that stuff, so we'll see. Okay guys, so I started the first one there by hand. Just kind of held it up and got the first one started. Now I took my jack and kind of eased it up, and then I'll get the rest of these here. Let's see if we can get these all started. Said there's 5 of them total, and not too bad. It's just hard to get them all started here, so we'll get them all started. So if you can take and I just kind of put them here, get my bolts up through the bottom. Okay guys, so we got both front A-arms skids on all the way. Sorry I couldn't video me actually doing the install. It's pretty hard for me to do that by myself, and I don't have a stand yet for a camera. So these you got 1, 2, 3 in the front, and then 2 in the rear. 1, 2, and you just get them all started, and then you just tighten them all down, kind of make sure you got it centered up, and they come out really clean on the bottom side, all flush there. So you just tighten that up, you're good to go. We're still waiting on the belly pan skid to come. We still got to mount the front diff, but you can't really do that till you get the belly mounted, because it's got to match up with that. And we'll finish that up when that shows up, and we'll show you drilling and tapping those holes that got to be drilled and tapped with the 1/4 20 tap and a 13/64 bit. Okay guys, we're back on the skid plate here. FedEx finally found the main skid and got it to us for the factory UTV skid. So I've already showed before, we've done the rear skids and the front A-arm skids. So let's get to the main belly pan skid. So we've got instructions here. They sent some pretty good instructions. It's got a diagram here. Also shows you what bolts go where, and you do have to tap and drill a couple holes. So like I said, we showed you the front and rear skid. It's a little bit backwards of how this says to do it, just because this showed up different, but we'll go ahead and get this main skid started on here. Okay guys, we got the main skid started on there. So I just took a floor jack and kind of held up, got some bolts started, and then we're gonna, before we tighten everything down, you're gonna slide your rock slider in. Should just slide in between there. Okay, so the rock slider, you just slide it in between there before, and then it's got its own side bolts here. Got a diagram where a couple of them take different bolts, A's and the B's. So we'll get all the bolts tightened up on the main skid and the side skids and go from there. Okay guys, we're at the part where we had to start drilling and tapping the holes. So what I do is I hold the washer here and then get my drill bit started. That way I know I'm in the center. So there's one on each corner. So all 4 corners of the main skid got one, and then one in the middle on each side on the rear skid. And then the front skid, which I haven't put on yet, it's got 6 of them you have to do. But it's a 13/64 drill bit, and then 1/4 20 tap here. So you just get you some tapping fluid and put it on your good tap and tap them out. Okay guys, doing the front skid install here. Got I held it up with a jack, and I started I got my first 2 bolts there square, and then I drilled and tapped them, got those 2 bolts in, and then I came to the front. I moved my jack to this crease to push it up, and since mine's got the Black Hills winch bumper on it, this overlaps that hole a little bit, you can see there. So what I done was I just drilled and tapped through the Black Hills plate also in the frame. So I wanted to show you guys also how I was doing this with the drill. I just took this here, just is a little harder with one hand, but I would get that washer, I would hold that washer up there with my other finger just to keep it centered and get it started. So I just hold it up here like this, and then I would I'll start my drill just to get a little bit marker basically, and then I'll let that go down the drill bit, and then I finish drilling my hole. That way I know I'm going to be centered up. Basically that was the easiest way I could do it, or the quickest I should say, maybe not the easiest. You could also hold that up there and take a center punch and punch it if you want, but I was just being lazy basically. So I'll get this other one drilled and tapped, and then we just got to drill and tap these other 2, and it's got some good protection. So we'll just get these last few bolts in, and that'll be it.